Okay, Dad's fixing Suburban. I'm building oil restrictors for my turbos, which look like this. Just cut a flat spot, took a bolt, drilled through the center of the bolt, threaded that brass piece, and threaded it down in there with a flathead. So,
looks like you're talking to me.
I gotta find another one and do the next one. So we'll see how well that works. Alright, see, there is my fitting, and there is my restriction that I made. See, I ground a place in there for a flathead to go in. That just threads in there, then I can swap them out if I want to go smaller. But that's how big my line going in is, and that's how small it's going to be. So I got a lot of oil pressure. It's a high volume pump, 20W50 oil, so it's probably just overfilling the turbos because it's got monster drains straight down the pan. So we'll see what this does. A lot of people say you don't need to restrict a journal, but with these GT35s, everything I read on them says to restrict them. Now, you definitely have to restrict the ball bearing, but everything I've read says put a restrictor in them because it's too much oil. So I'm gonna try it and see what it does. All right, set the timer at 30 degrees with a new timing light. Go with the Marble Freights, which works great. And Dad is still rerouting all the plumbing on the Suburban. I don't got my wastegate in on that side, it's on the Suburban. But I got oil restrictors in now. Got the hat and everything hooked up. Got my PCV valve connected. I got a breather on that side. Got my oil restrictors in. Got the hat bolted on, tightened up. I put a barb in the side of the hat. Run boost pressure from there down to there to the regulator. Now I'm going to get back here and adjust my fuel pump, get the max PSI pressure out of the fuel pump with a adjustable spring set up, and then I'm going to mess with this regulator, see if I can figure out why this regulator ain't boost referencing. I mean, it is, but it don't go past 9. I think it's because my spring in the fuel pump is set at 9 when it can be maxed out at 19. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to put the wastegate back on and start up and let it run for a few minutes. Alright, so the reason my boost reference regulator wouldn't go past 9 is because my fuel pump is a Mallory 140, and it's got this. I think all fuel pumps have this. I don't know if you can see it. It's that adjuster. You can adjust that. It's got a spring for a bypass, which limits the amount of fuel this thing can pump out. So what I've done is run it almost all the way in, and it goes to 15 with ease now. So yep. I need to set my base.
It probably wouldn't go past 9 because the fuel pump wouldn't do it.
Yeah, she just wouldn't. But did you hear it when it went? It was like, but I ain't got no oil leaking yet.
No oil leak so far. He made these little reducers there. Y'all seen that? It's cool thing.
Yeah, little restrictors.
Little restrictors.
So I restricted them down to, the opening of this was like 236 thousandths. I restricted them down to like 100 thousandths, 110, 115 thousandths. So should still get plenty of volume still, but maybe just a little less, so don't keep filling up and flooding.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so what I need to do, I need to pull my carbs apart and rejet them, repower valve them, retune everything for this new cam and this lower compression and everything else, because it's pig rich. And so I'm going to take them. I got 71 or 72 primaries, 82 secondaries. I'm going to drop them down to 68s. I also got a set of 650s. I might put 650s on it because these two 750s, they were perfect for my old 388 combo, but they might be too much for the still 388, but it's a lot tamer, and it's going to be mild until the boost comes in. So, but we fired it up and it sounded better. It didn't sound like it had a full-on dead cylinder over there no more. So I'll start it again.
deceiving as hell.
I know what it is. My power valve's not opening. It's got.
Oh, you got the wrong
It's
ones
got
in it?
4.5s that need a 6.5.
Oh, okay.
But did you hear it lean out? Yeah, she leaned out.
Yeah.
The fuel pressure needs to come up to about 6 right there, and then I need to change power valves. And then I think it'll be fine.
All right.
But it starts building freaking boost. I mean, as soon as you get into it and bring it up, it's just like starts building the boost. The other setup wouldn't do that at all.
Yeah.
It got 1 pound at like 3,000. This is building almost at like 2,800. So it's going to leave and boost.
Yeah, it'll leave it 5
without
or 6
without two-step or anything.
Yep.
That's cool. Any oil?
It's deceiving as hell though. You start bringing it up on boost, it's like brrr, it starts to sound like a mule, but then it idles just like a regular. It's like
then it comes down. It's like boom.
Yeah, it's just deceiving as hell. That's a hard damn cliff to climb, ain't it?
Yeah. But it's so quiet inside. Like, I bet you this thing will drive like a dream.
Yeah, you have damn good brakes now. No oil issues.
No, just leftover from last.
Residues.
Yeah,
It didn't blow no white out when you was on it.
And I think under boost, I needed to drive it under boost with the jets in it and see how clean the plugs get, because it's just been sitting there idling and idling and idling.
Well, just put them power valves in it and
Yeah, I need to do the power valve swap and then load it up again and see what it does.
yeah, just put.
That's cool.
They're tuning.
It's cool. It freaking builds boost like foot braking.
Yeah, more tuning. That's how you do it.
I was yesterday, we were on the way home in the Suburban, and it laid down on Dad. It started sputtering and had no pump shot. Fuel pressure was solid after Dad fixed the fuel lines, all that stuff. Fuel pressure was solid. So it started sputtering, had no pump shot, and his float's crushed. 10 psi, brass float's crushed. See,
Mashed it. That's my
look,
first.
it mashed it good.
That's my first crushed float right there.
Yeah. But you see how it has almost no movement, so the bowl couldn't fill up.
It's just been teetering right there. I think somebody stole my damn gas last night, or night before last. It ran out of gas, so it must have dropped down and started sticking. It showed its ice. It idle fine yesterday when I changed my fuel line around and shit where it'd be cool, so because the damn fuel lines are getting real hot against the motor, so I changed all that around. And then last night she showed her Mary Ashley had to baby it all the way to the house. Got up here and run the dog shit out of it.
It sucked the crud out and it started running good.
It started running fine when we got here, but it still smashed.
But that's why when he goes to it, like all of a sudden be running along and he'll empty the bowl out and go to get back in the throttle and you got no pump shot because there's no volume, no fuel in it to go to the pump shot. So that's why last night when you're hitting the throttle, it's like air, it was stumbling.
Yeah.
So
that's my first crush float.
I know that makes what.
No, that's my first one.
Yeah, but it's fixing to rain.
Yeah, it's clouded up today, man. The yesterday was beautiful shit, but it's thundering kind of out out Sean way, so it's coming this late of them clouds.
Yeah, it's gonna rain. So I'm gonna tear us apart and fix it.
Here it comes. He just said it.
Yeah. Now it's officially summer. Pouring rain. We got our tent back out so we can fix this carb. Yep, secondary float's crushed too.
That's my second crush float. Got both of them.
Yep. So don't put 10 pounds of boost on brass.
Yeah.
It wasn't supposed to go above 5, but it overboosted. That one we pushed back out, but you can see it just comes in and mashes them. Brass can't take 10 pounds of boost. 7's fine. 8's pushing it. 10, no. We knew that. I knew that. We just didn't have no plastic ones to put in them. Things are hard to come by. And then you go to buy I can't think of the name of them, but the ones that are like a foam, they're expensive. But we'll order some, put it in this thing. In the meantime, we'll just leave the boost at 5 pounds, which it runs great at 5 pounds. Actually, the boost. So what happened is the wastegate wasn't working as well as it should. A little bit too small. So when he boosted, it went to the 5 pounds and tried to hold steady, and then crept, and it crept up to about 11 or 12, and then popped right back down to the 5 after he shifted, and then it crept up to 10. So it's working great now. It's just that first initial test on it. It wasn't relieving as well as it should have. Which I pulled it apart and rebuilt it, polished the shaft and all that other stuff. Sound gay, polished the shaft, but that's what it did. So that the wastegate slides smooth. But you know, I'll take some other floats, some more brass ones, and throw in this thing, and it'll be fine until we get some other ones. Throw it back together and should be back on the road today. No problem. Alright, all fixed, put back on. Just gotta flip the pump on, make sure it don't flood, which it shouldn't. The float level should be adjusted just right. I've done enough of them where you can just flip it over and look, you know. That's fixed. We'll fire it up here in a minute whenever Dad gets back with the key, and we'll go from there. Alright, so we're gonna try to get the bottom end in Colton's motor. Today, he got his new rods. 6-inch H-beams. I'm not drop them on the ground. But I went ahead and weighed the pistons, and every one of them was exactly what?
584.
584. Every one of them was 584, which is awesome. Exact weight. I guess that's what you get when you pay big monies.
Nice shit there.
Yeah. Look at that bling, bling, bling. Them pistons cost more than my motor. He got the new rods, good rods. So what I'm doing here, I got a list off. See, I got 4.5 power valves. So I'm changing the power valves. I'm changing my floats over to, I'm gonna look and see if I got any plastic. I don't think I got no plastic ones, so I'll just have to keep the boost low until I get new floats. Keep it below 10, because they'll crush at 10. But I am changing the power valve. I need like a 8.5, but all I got 6.5, so I'm gonna throw that in there and it'll make it a little bit better. Cause I'm gonna do that, throw it back together, put a load on it again, see how much better it is. I'm gonna leave the jet and everything the same, and I'm gonna turn the mixer screws and lean it out a little bit at idle.
Coronavirus lockdown.
There is no coronavirus. I don't buy it. It does not exist.
There is a coronavirus.
No, there's not. It's lies. It's garbage.
It's the truth.
No, it's not.
There is a coronavirus. And you have to be careful with it.
No, you don't. There's like one person got sick and it's just a flu.
No, it's not.
But so they want to shut down everything for a week, 2 weeks, just to follow suit of what everybody else has done.
It's really good, man, because you know if people are spending time with their family, and I've heard people say if they're talking to their family now, they ain't talked to them in years, they're actually sitting and talking shit and getting off the phones and living simple and enjoying their life, which that's a good thing. Ain't nobody out in the bars getting drunk as shit. Ain't probably some good home folks getting drunk at their house, which is more power to you, but you know, everybody ain't out at bars. The roads are clear, man. You can just drive.
I will agree with that. For the first time in like, I don't know how long, we can drive around here without being in traffic. And I'm tired of traffic and people and crowds. Get out of here. I love it. The whole thing with people not being out no more, I love that.
Nashville does look like it did used to a long time ago. There wasn't that many people here. And everybody out running the streets and acting crazy.
Yeah, all the freaks with the crazy hair and all that stuff, they ain't out, they're hiding. They don't want to die.
They put a band on.
Yeah.
Put a band on these damn nose rings with shaved fucking heads. And
dudes dressed as women, women dressed as dudes.
Women and the women that don't know if they're dudes.
Yeah.
Whether you got a dick or what do you do. They need to ban that shit. They put them in the house.
Yeah.
Get them off the fucking streets. Get them the hell out of the way.
That's way worse than coronavirus.
Yeah. The damn hipsters and shit, man. Chill out all that crap.
Anyway, long story short, we are locked down. We're not supposed to do nothing really, but
no, you can't do stuff. You can go out and do stuff, but you gotta be home by 8 o'clock. It's 5 starting tomorrow.
But that's not true. That's not. There's no way.
Yes, they changed it. It was 8 o'clock. Tomorrow it's 5.
That's not. Maybe that's when business is supposed to be closed. But you can't tell people what they can do and what they can't do.
That's what they said. But I don't know how because I don't ever get off work till after 5.
That's stupid. That's not true. That's not true.
That's what they said. Yeah.
Who said that?
They said this morning for Buckham County. Tomorrow's 5 o'clock.
Who said that?
That's what they said on the damn thing this morning.
But anyway, we don't buy into the corona, nothing. Don't care. Don't matter to us no way. We just keep doing what we do. Turbos. Build motors. Our lives have not changed. The only downside is you got to go to the parts store before 6:30. That's about it.
Be careful out there, people. Just to go different, unique way of looking at stuff. He does not worry whatsoever. I worry, but I don't have to worry that much. But I do worry about it.
Yeah, Dad takes things a little more serious sometimes.
You gotta take it a little more serious because it's a real thing. It's not imaginary.
I don't buy it. I don't believe it at all.
The bad thing about it is how the news has portrayed it. They've changed it.
Yeah, they create panic, and I hate that.
They got panic going, and they've scared everybody to death. And I don't agree with doing all that. But
the fact that Americans are so naive that you get scared like that.
But people are worried, and they bought up all the groceries. Now around here the grocery stores are getting groceries back because there ain't nobody got nowhere else to put nothing.
Yeah.
Everybody's bought up all this shit, and you got it at the house. So I noticed this morning there was toilet paper, there was meat in there, and shit like that. People's calming down a little bit, but they are enjoying their life. I got to give it to them for that.
Yeah,
they
give
are
them
enjoying
that.
their life.
But like the scare of having no toilet paper, it don't bother me. I'll grab some leaves and Duke in the woods. Do it all the time.
He will. Without issue.
There's nothing better than perching up on a mountaintop, taking a big old dump, like squatting down old monkey style. There's nothing better. Look, he knows it's true. I do it. That's freedom.
We was talking one day. It was like, you reckon the bears ever going through the woods and step in human shit and go, son of a bitch? I mean, if you're walking through the woods and see bear shit, you're like, there's been a bear up here. You reckon they go, people up here, you shit in my path again. I'm gonna kill one of them. You know they've stepped into me like, that damn human shit's all between my toes. That's probably why they're pissed off. They stepped in your shit. That's what a bear, he sat beside a rabbit one time and he was like, the bear shit stick to rabbit fur, and the rabbit said nope. So he jerked him up and wiped his ass with it.
Dad's theory on why bears are so mean is because they have small wieners.
That's the damn truth.
They got little tiny wieners, that's why they're mad.
They got all the equipment in the damn world going for them, but they ain't got no big dicks.
They're all tiny.
Yeah.
That's why they're so mean. You would think they would, but they wouldn't.
You never see them dragging the ground. I said, there's all equipment shit they got. They would have a log jammer dragging the ground because they're just badass.
Yeah, but they don't.
They got everything else to make up for it.
Yeah.
You know? They can do anything, but I mean, their dicks still work. They have little baby bears and shit. But it's just not like you think a bear would be packing. I don't know. I don't know if that's...
But that's Dad's theory on why bears are so violent and so ill. Because the rest of the wilderness is laughing at them.
No, it's just like, well, I'll just kill your ass. What do you think about that? You know, it's not big, but it's cute as a button if it works. But I'll stomp the monkey shit out of you and you can't hide it. We're going to kick your ass. That's how a bear looks at it. He's like, fuck you, I'll eat you.
Yeah,
don't make
exactly.
Fun of it.
You'll tell no one.
Yeah,
I'll eat you.
You'll be the last one to know it's little because I'll kill you. You won't see anybody else. And the damn skunk, they made that some bitch on Friday.
Yeah.
It's like, hell, put a stripe on him, give him some short teeth, make him shoot shit out of his ice, and let's go. Roll. At the weekend, we got cars to build. Get out of there. Yeah. Anyways, bear was built on Monday, skunk built on Friday.
Exactly.
And the lines and all that other shit was built like in between they were about Wednesday because they got some cool shit too.
Got all the rings on. All ring's pretty tight because of that ring support, yeah. But they're all on there, in order, and fixing to throw them in the block over there. He's got to break the rod bolts loose because they're torqued. Especially when you store them, you're supposed to keep them torqued. All right, well, there's the first rod and piston in. Got a little stuff on them, torque lube, and torque them down. All right, number 5. Torquing it down. Now it's a skeleton piston. Skull piston. I had a paint marker in my hand, I was bored, so.
Yeah, let's grab number 6.
Yeah, number 6. Alright, last piston went in. Number 8. He's going to flip her over and put the cap on. Boom. Nice. Torque this one down and I would go ahead and put the cam and stuff in it and timing chain and all that, depending on what you want to do for the rest of the day. But we can degree it and check everything. But there you go. I need to weld Dad's tube up. Right, bottom end's done. He threw the cam in it and we'll continue on later. We're going to degree the cam and do everything like I did on my motor, because I just don't want to just throw it together. I'll do it like I did mine, make sure the intake valve closure point's where it needs to be. It all comes into play when you boosted them. So everything is kind of important. All right, I'm fixing to convert Codys 650 over to a 950. Well, this is a 850, 950. See, the ports are like that. This 650, 750 base plate won't line up with that. And this is one of them Speedmaster bit aluminum center sections. It's a 3-circuit system. You look in there, see them little, that's your intermediate circuit. You got your low, your intermediate, and then your high fuel system. So what, you don't need that for the street. So what I'm gonna block that off, because you don't need it for the street. That's for full on drag racing, and they don't work that great street driving. But what I'm doing is I'm gonna take his base plate off, take his bowls and metering blocks and everything else, and modify it to work with this center section. And that'll give him, I'll do the math and come up with what it is exactly. Also, this has got, see, these are straight leg boosters. This is like street. This is not a very good performance carburetor by any means. Straight leg boosters, I mean, they work, they're just not that great. Down leg's better, but this has got tubes. See, this makes for much better fuel atomization than the boosters. So, take his shooters out, put them in, take the plungers out, just take everything out of this and put in this and modify it to where everything fits and works, and then I'll put it on and tune it for him. It ought to run a whole lot better. This sucker goes lean up high. I mean, it's just too small. He's got 215cc aluminum heads, big roller cam at 383, and this is a little Dookie 650 on a single plane intake. It's just not enough. So that right there will make her run good. I'll make it work. That's cool. I'm gonna do this one for him. Put it on there next week and tune it in and have it running good. So I'll show you how to modify the base plate to work, because this base plate, the holes, you'll see these circuits are a different location. I'll show you how to modify them to make it work. All right, pop the bowl off, and the metering plate in this sucker is plumb full of crap. See it? Power valve is just, I have to get him a new power valve. I'll get you a new power valve, Cody. I'll put you one in here, because that is just garbage. And not only that, but the other day when me and him took it up a road, well, it's not the other day, but about 2 weeks ago, took it up a road, this thing had a lean spot. Like, you hammer the throttle and it just kind of goes dead lean, like I was talking about. Right out of the hole, I could tell that the carburetor was too small. It's got 73 jets on the secondary side. That's ridiculous. 73 on the secondary. I don't know what the primary is. 63 on the primary. That's just... And there's no high or low idle speed air bleed circuits, so it couldn't be enriched. This thing is just dog lean. So this thing's gonna run so much better. It's gonna run so much better. I should have pulled this carburetor off and run through it for him while I was out there, just because, I mean, this is the kind of crap you run into. Just things not being what they need to be. Okay. Oh well, we'll fix it. This thing is going to run so much better. We'll just step the jets up. I'll dig through my box, see if I got any jets. We'll probably go 88 secondary and 77 primary because of the power valve. Or we'll go 90 secondary. We'll see. But that's terrible. I can't believe that. 73. God. I don't know who put this carburetor together. I don't have my actual calipers. They're out yonder. But this will have to work. See this? Let me show you. These center sections are tapered. See how small it is up at the top? So I can tell this is a 650 center. 650 center because it's got that nice taper to it. Then when you get down here at the bottom, that looks a lot bigger, right? Now granted, it is bigger because of the taper. But We'll measure the very absolute widest point. 1.53. That's probably not right because these digital ones suck. This is a cheap Harbor Freight. It's all I had laying around. But look, see the gap? See how much bigger these bores are? Look at that. 1.73, 1.53 to 1.73. So we'll do that and we'll measure the butterflies. Also, this is what I'm talking about. See here? So these ports, they're different than that. Those are straight. So what you have to do is take a gasket for this, lay on here, mark them, and then drill them and create an extension channel so that it can meter. Okay, so anyway, like I said, this is what I'm talking about. You have to drill a hole and then you extend this channel over. And then everything will work. Then this base plate will bolt to the center. Everything will be fine. All will be good in the world. I still can't get over that having 73 jets. Because when this opened up, she was leaning out big time. These should at least have, on a 650, at least have like a 78 jet. 78 or 79, something like that. Because you have no power valve to enrich in it. So, this thing will be a whole different animal. Yeah, look at the size difference. Now what I'm going to do is modify the center section, the main body, instead of the base plate, because the base plate, these holes are a little bigger than they're supposed to be. And with this big gasket for 850, 950, kind of hangs over a little bit and it won't seal. So I'm going to modify the main body. What I'm doing is opening up that channel so it can pull from the holes in this gasket. So I drill down a little bit, then I turn and go back. Drill down a little bit, turn and go back. And you're just making this hole breathe out of a different port. See? Now they can pull. This is usually what you would do to a 850 base plate. You would drill an 850 base plate to match up with a 750 center, which is only a 650, but a 750 center to build a 950. Because you got 750 center, 850 base plate, that makes a 950. But usually you want smaller bore, bigger at the bottom to create velocity, but this has got a bigger bore, smaller at the bottom, so it'll slow down the velocity a little bit, but that wide open throttle is going to flow a lot better. So, kind of is what it is. Just got to make do with what you got. Now, if I had an 850 or a 950 base, I can match it up and build an exact 950, but I don't think it needs that much. It just needs a lot more than a 650. But, see, there's my channels drilled. Now I can cross over and pull, and he'll be able to run 750, 650 base plate gasket, or main body gasket. So the channels line up now. It'll pull just fine and work exactly like it's supposed to. Done this a bunch of times on converting base plates to work with 750 centers, 950 or 850 base plates. All right, then I had to modify. See how this rounds over? Right there. Rounds over. I probably could have cut that flush, but I don't have a cutting wheel or a grinder with me today for some reason. I didn't bring it. But I took a file and I kept filing and filing and filing to get that clear. So, modification, make it work. All right, got your new power valve in, and 6.5, brand new 6.5 power valve, and I put 78 primary and 90 secondary jets. All right, and this carburetor won't use a regular shooter like this with a screw. That won't work. It has to have the Allen head with the opening. I'll pull this back out and show you what I'm talking about, but you need some of these. This is what I'm talking about. So they got the tube that runs up and the holes that go to the shooter. This is the kind that you have to have for this carburetor. The standard style won't work. They just won't fit, they won't thread, they just won't work. I got some that I'm going to put in here out of my carburetor, and I'll just put mine in your carburetor, and that way it'll be built and ready to go, and then you can just, when you order some, give those to me and I'll put them back in my 750 over here. All right, there it is. That's a big old carburetor. I still got just a secondary T-slot. Open it up a little bit, close the primary, set the floats, and should be ready to go. I'm gonna clean it up a little bit, get the crud off, that buildup off the balls, but it should be ready to go. So there it is, Cody. Little S10's fixing to be a whole different animal, because that little carburetor on it with them tiny jets. I don't see how it ran as good as it did. Alright, I got Codys carburetor on the Suburban. Tested it for fuel leaks, no leaks, everything's good. Had to put a fuel rail on it. So we're gonna fire it up and see how it idles. Make sure everything's working the way it's supposed to before I go all the way out there and put it on this truck. So that's what we're gonna do. But fired up, and I can't get the idle down any lower because I got the T-slots opened up for a big motor. Oh, that's at 12. So if I was to close that T-slot, like I said, I got the T-slot open pretty big. If I close that T-slot, it would probably be idling at like 800 or 900, and then I could open up the primary. But I mean, it revs fine. That's a 950 on this thing. But that wasn't in the secondaries or nothing. That's just the primary. All right, I'll go into the secondary this time. If the motor's cold, well, it's a big carburetor. Yeah, it's big. Shut it off. Yeah, that's a big carburetor. It'll be good on his. On that combination, it'll be good. All right, fired it up. This motor was cold, and this is a small 350 with a turbo on it. The carburetor should be perfect on the 383 with the big heads and everything else. It should be just about perfect. Like I said, just a pretty mild 350, so it can't really use all the fuel that this thing puts out. So, but it idled clean. In order to get it to idle at 1,000 on this, I'd have to close the secondary T-slot. But even then, it was idling at about 1,200. So if I close a T-slot on this, it would idle at about 1,000 without having to close the primary up. It's just because it's so big and that motor's so small. But it's all good. So I'll go out there next week, throw it on Codys S10, and tune it in. We'll take it up the road. So that's a wrap on that. That's cool.